Hi, so hey, my name is Derek Poundstone. I'm here at Waterbury Fitness, training today with Evan Centopani. We're gonna do a little bit of chest. Today's goal is, for both of us, isn't really to go too heavy. I'm only doing about 60-70% of my theoretical max. I don't really max out too much on bench. I'm not a big bencher, but this year I'm trying to change it. I'm shooting for a 600-pound raw bench. So this is sort of a workout that's going to ramp up my training, shooting for some more reps, taking it easy a little bit. I got a little bit of some tricep issues. I injured my tricep a couple weeks ago. The goal is 5 weeks from now, I'm shooting for a 550 3-board press. I'm doing some board pressing, some floor pressing. You can't always go into training with the goal of training heavy, because benching is only one lift of several lifts that we're doing in Strongman. Like, benching has very little application in Strongman. It's just something I do to just keep well-rounded. But this time around, I'm working on to help increase my tricep lockout, my overhead lockout. So we're going to see how that benefits me this year. All right, so what you're noticing with the different pressing techniques that Evan and myself have, it's actually pretty cool, because we're both benching similar weight, but the way we bench is vastly different. A bodybuilder, you can see with Evan's sets, he's actually focusing on the muscle contraction, so he's not focusing so much on moving the weight, but contracting the chest and pushing with the triceps. So weight moves in a much more deliberate manner and a little bit slower. Where if you see me in contrast, pushing the same weight, it's I'm not going to say more explosive, but I'm focusing on just the actual moving of the weight. I don't really care what muscles I'm using. I'm trying to utilize as much muscle as possible. If you actually watch my lower body, my legs, I actually got to drive off the floor with my legs, and I push into my back, which helps increase the amount of torque I'm able to put on the bar. So it's funny, two relatively big athletes at the top of our sport, you know, the way we bench, even though we're using the same weight, is just totally different. All right, so let's talk about World's Strongest Man a little bit. This year I took 4th place. Last year I took 2nd place. In tough competition this year, wasn't really the best group events for me. I'm really known for being a big presser, deadlifter, great at medleys. The final had no medleys in it. It was mostly a lot of had the airplane pull, the boat pull, the fingers. Tough events for me, being one of the shortest guys and one of the lighter guys. So this year, the training for the Arnold's been a little different. I'm going to be working on more, trying to put on more weight. Right now, I'm currently around 340. Normally, I compete around 320. So change things up a little bit. Try to come at the competitions from a little different angle. All right, so we'll get a little bit into my diet. As I'm trying to put on weight for the Arnold, I'd like to be about 350 for the Arnold this year. It will be about 30 pounds heavier than last year, because the competition is significantly heavier. So basically, it's the same clean diet I normally have. What I'm throwing in is basically, stuff like Pop-Tarts and cereal, stuff that I usually would stay away from, and a lot more pasta. So my protein, my percentage of my calories from protein have stayed about the same, but my percentage of my diet that's carbohydrates and fat have increased significantly. All right, so typically in a day, I focus mostly on chicken as far as my main protein source, just because it's easy for me. Because I'm working all day, I don't have the luxury of being able to cook something and eat it right then and there fresh. And chicken's probably one of the best things that you can heat up or eat relatively easy and cook pretty easy and quickly. So I'm usually doing about 3 pounds of chicken a day. Now I'd say probably about 1.5 pounds of pasta. I'm usually doing 3 shakes a day, all of which are weight gainers instead of just protein shakes. So each one of those is 800 calories or so. And then I'll do after my post-workout dark matter and protein shake, I'll have about 1 pound of steak. I'm doing steak 4 or 5 days a week, which is basically on my training days. My days off, I'm not usually doing steak. I'll probably do another half pound or so of chicken, or I'll substitute fish in there. All right, so we're just talking about my work a little bit and my diet while I'm at working. I guess one of the big thing that separates Strongman from bodybuilding is, the Strongman has a little different following. We don't have the luxury of being able to take time off and pursue our careers 100%. I still have to work. Most of us still have to work if we want to make a decent living. So, like today, for example, I missed a meal. I was really busy at work, so just my training wasn't the best it could be. And it's hard competing at this level with having to make sacrifices. As I was talking to Evan earlier, one thing that bodybuilders have to pride themselves on, they have to have that, when you have that good day, everything goes perfectly, well, they have to have that every day, and that's for any sport. And Strongman right now is suffering. You don't don't see the endorsements that you get in bodybuilding, you know, and hopefully that'll change in the near future. All right, so I mentioned earlier that I'm currently about 340 pounds, which still, in my sport, makes me one of the lighter guys. I'd say your average athlete at the Arnold Classic come in around 360 pounds. You have Donnie Thompson, who's in the upper 300s, Zydrunas Savickas, upper 300s, and I won't be surprised if I'm the lightest guy again, even though I'm going to be coming in between 340 and 350. So it's a little different than other sports where, you know, they're trying to get in their best shape and lean out as much before an event. I'm actually trying to put on weight as much as possible. So what I'm doing today also is some board pressing, as you're seeing. The whole purpose behind the board press, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with it or not. So with the board press, and the whole purpose is the chest is at its mechanical disadvantage right when the triceps are coming in. So you're actually pressing from your weakest point. So it's going to help increase your bench by helping you work through that lockout, or work through that sticking point. It's a pretty cool way of training, again, that specific area. So it's like doing deadlifts just below knees. That's where most people are the weakest point. So it's devised not as a muscle builder, but it's a way to train your chest in a specific area that might be its weakest. Okay, so when Evan started doing the floor pressing, he liked it. We had to do a little bit of correction of his technique. The whole purpose of the floor press, when you come down, you're supposed to rest the weight on your tricep, meaning that the weight is completely off your chest, so it's actually resting on your arms. I found Evan was doing, in the beginning, he was sort of touch and go. He corrected that, and just I was able to power out, you know, four or five reps every set, which was impressive because he's very slow, methodical. He's still that sort of bodybuilding mentality. It's, again, it just goes to show you the vast difference with the training techniques. So this year, I'm taking a little different step towards the Arnold training, as we already spoke about before. Obviously the benching, focusing on that to increase my lockout strength and the overhead. Another thing is I'm not taking my training so seriously. I noticed that it was becoming almost like my job, and it really burning me out, and the training that we do anyways is just brutal. So I'm trying to take it easy a little bit more, have fun with the training a little bit, and I'm much more confident. I've got another 6 competitions under my belt since this time last year when I was training for the Arnold, so I'm in a much better place mentally. I know what I can do. I know I can win it. That's not the issue. I just got to go out there and do it. So to me, the work has already been done. I've been doing this sport for long enough. I've done over 30 competitions at the pro level, so just going to go out there and have fun. It's another competition, just another day, you know. One thing I like to end this on is I'd like to take some time to thank the city of Waterbury. The mayor's office was kind enough to give me a citation, along with the governor's office in the state of Connecticut, for my work with the youth and my dedication to my sport, which they thought has brought some good publicity and some good press too. All right, well, now that we're wrapping up, I'd like to just remind you guys, I have a website coming out, poundstonepower.com. It's got a bunch of information about my training, competitions, and so forth. Check that out. You can contact me on Facebook, Twitter. It's just my name. Pretty simple. Keep in touch. Be with me that way about what I'm doing. And stay tuned. Evan and I got a couple more brutal workouts coming your way. It's actually not 230. You got only use one hand, you can use two hands. Oh, you're good.
There you go.
You put another 100 pounds in there? Yeah.